Welcome back to the Wednesday show. Welcome to Plus 2 Comedy Extra. I'm shooting this handheld because I got to get to my show over in Haddonfield. But in any case, we got a throwback for you this week. I noticed a lot of people are talking about Billy Mitchell and all the scandals over at Twin Galaxies. A bunch of the high scores for a bunch of video games were taken down and considered fraudulent, basically because of corruption and lies and all this good stuff. And this is something we covered on the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast almost 2 years ago. So you heard it here first that Twin Galaxies was a bunch of frauds. We broke this story 2 years ago, and it's now finally coming to the surface. So I want you to take back and listen back to one of my favorite episodes. This is Bill Walter, formerly of Twin Galaxies, on the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast. Hit it! I don't know why I said hit it. Welcome all you Plus 2 Comedy modifiers to another episode of the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast. I'm your host as always, TV's Noah Houlihan, and before we get to our fantastic show, I have to tell you about our upcoming shows. We will be returning to Inconceivable, or as I like to call it because that's how it's spelled, in-con-ceivable. That will be August 28th through the 30th in the Clariton Hotel and Conference Center in Northampton, Massachusetts. To all our Massachusetts fans, we love you guys. We can't wait to go back out there along with Grego, Shimmy Ninja, Charles Dunbar. We're doing a bunch of wacky stuff. I think we're hosting the cosplay competition now. We're doing a bunch of wacky stuff, so be sure to be there. Also, I don't usually talk about this, but I also help run a show called High Note Humor. We do an open mic every Wednesday at the Tap Room and Grill. It's located at 427 West Crystal Lake Avenue in Haddonfield, New Jersey. And we have a big show coming up. We have Sam Morrell. He's going to actually have a Comedy Central special coming out in October. He's going to be at High Note Humor on Friday, September 18th at 7 o'clock. I'll put a link for the tickets in the description, but please come out. He's a fantastic comedian. Tickets are going to be just $20, so come see Sam Morrell along with future guest Brian Isley and hosted by past guest Neil Carroll. So we hope to see you for that as well. And as always, this episode of the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast is brought to you by Amazon. Please click the link below and shop as normal to support the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast. And now, without any further ado, take it away, Kirby Crackle.
We're on the road, we're going home, to the place where wild nerds roam, with pretty girls and dudes in capes, going to cons is our escape. It's like a mecca for geeks in a star-filled sky, where you can meet all your heroes and none of them fly. We're on the road, we're going home.
Who's ready for a podcast? Who's here for the podcast but are currently looking at their phone and stuff? This is the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast coming at you live from Adventureland in the world's strangest mall. That's the Voorhees Town Center, located at 2120 Voorhees Town Center, Voorhees Township, New Jersey. I am your host, as always, TV's Noah Houlihan. I am joined, as always, by the illegitimate stepson to Rowdy Roddy Piper. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Will Liam. How you doing, Will?
I think you're speaking of Wild Willie Prescott.
Wild
That's a
Willie
separate
Prescott.
person from me.
Yes. Well, I had to bring up Piper since he passed away.
I know.
And this is our loving tribute to him. Is
Mildly mentioning
Yeah,
him.
is telling the internet of our inside joke about your wrestling character that never came to fruition. So, rest in peace.
Yeah,
Roddy
now
Piper.
we gotta wait a while or it'll seem insensitive to launch that character now.
Our guest this week is a video game world record holder. He also formerly used to be of Twin Galaxies and formerly part of the most successful Puzzle Challenge team at DexCon. Please give it up for Bill Walter. How you doing, Bill?
I'm doing. That's really about it.
All right. Hot start.
Start right out the gate. So Bill holds a world record, multiple world records in the world of video games, correct?
Yes, I do.
What games do you hold the world record in?
I have Super Monaco Grand Prix on the Genesis. I have yet to submit, but have the DVD ready for Cyberball
Okay.
on the Genesis. Ferrari World Grand Prix Challenge. The problem is, I don't think the world records actually mean anything anymore, so it's why even bother getting them.
Well, you still did it, which is the thing.
That is true.
What changed to make them mean less?
Oh, we'll get into that.
Is it the journey? It's more the journey than the destination. Getting to the record, and then once you have it, it's like, eh. So tell us a little bit about these games. I'm not familiar with them.
Well, Super Monaco Grand Prix is a racing game on the Genesis.
Okay.
Probably the best one. Ferrari Grand Prix Challenge is, again, another racing game, both Formula One-based games.
Okay.
And every specific track in the game has its own record holder.
Okay.
So generally, one person actually plays the game and calls themselves the world record holder.
Okay.
Which would
And
be
that
the case
person's
for
you?
Ferrari Grand Prix Challenge. I think I was the only person who actually owns that game.
Oh. Well, that is a good plan. Just get a game that no one else owns. Somebody get on this. What's a really obscure game that I can become the king of?
I've been trying to think of it since we started the podcast. I think it's called Spy Hunter or Spy Sniper. It was an NES game. I rented it from my local video store. It has 2 levels.
Yeah, I believe that's Spy Hunter, and it's also a crazy popular game.
Is it?
Well,
What do you do?
You're driving and then you turn into a boat?
No.
Spy Hunter.
And
That's Spy Hunter, though, right?
Then I'm wrong. It was like Spy Sniper. Basically, there was one level where you were like avoiding a spotlight, but you couldn't really move. It was like one of those games you drive and it would just be a repeating road. But for any, like somebody was
Like one of those ones you got at the dollar store?
Yes.
It would just be the
but
background
that
moving.
for NES. I'm about 2 hours in. I, as a child, was like, I don't think this controller's even plugged in. I don't think I'm doing anything. But I could hold the world record.
So, and Cyberball was the third one?
Yeah, it's I liked it in the arcade. It was one of those things where it had the big arcade cabinet for 4 people, and it's
Nice.
robotic football, basically.
Okay. It rings a slight bell other than the other 2 games. Because I was curious when you said that it was a racing game. So you hold the world record in all the tracks or just a couple of them?
All of them, yes.
Dang.
Well, he owns the only copy.
Yeah, I mean...
Technically, any
not
track.
in Super Monaco Grand Prix.
No one
the
else
other
is allowed to
game I
play.
do.
And now I know that you used to work at or be associated with Twin Galaxies. And I know that when you originally wanted to come on the show that you wanted to kind of expose them as being fraudulent in some way. I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth. That is correct.
Well, it is.
Okay.
And they were.
So you're telling me now, if for the folks that may not know, Twin Galaxies was in charge of keeping the records of who had world records in video games. If you've ever seen the film King of Kong, which is a documentary about the high score of Donkey Kong, Twin Galaxies is all over that movie. And they actually did partner with Guinness because they were supposed to be the official records. So you're telling me right now on this show that they're fraudulent.
Yes.
Oh my
absolutely.
God. We are busting this story open. So what makes them can you give us an example of something that has been actually, you know what? This is how I want to ask this question. Is Billy Mitchell a lie?
No.
Okay. Billy Mitchell was my
can
hero
say
for a
that-
while. He holds the Pac-Man world record. But
He actually is a very good gamer, even though he's not competitively been in any events for 20-plus years now. We did a Kong-Off competition in Flemington, New Jersey a few years back. He was one of the competitors, and he was still very good at Donkey Kong. The day before, I sat down and just watched him play, and you could tell that he was of the highest caliber of players for Donkey Kong.
Gotcha. But now you're saying, though, that there are records on there that are, or were, because it's not really around anymore.
Well, it is not.
Capacity.
There's been a new group of owners that don't really care about the record side of it. They want to
Yeah.
do podcasts and
Gross.
basically,
Podcast.
Sellouts.
they've basically taken the name and tried to go in a completely different direction with it, and I think it's probably for the best.
I picture the knight from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, but instead of chalices, it's just a bunch of dusty, old-school consoles,
Joysticks.
games, and he's just guarding the records.
Because I will say, I used to be a big fan of Twin Galaxies because I thought it was very interesting to see like who the best in the world was at everything. And I remember going through the records and just like nothing recorded yet, nothing recorded yet, nothing recorded. For games like Smash Brothers, it's like, how fast can you beat Smash Brothers? No record held. I was like, I'm pretty sure people
that
have
can't be
beat that
true.
game. Like, if I record something, it's not going to be amazing, but it would be considered the best if I sent it in?
Well, there's always flaws in a system.
Okay.
Every system had a judge.
Not recording records is a big flaw.
Well, yeah. So, see, if I were the judge for the Nintendo 64, for example,
Okay.
you would have to, A, figure out who I was in the first place, which was part of the problem,
All right.
and then you'd have to tape or DVD your recording and then send it to me.
Okay.
And then it would be completely up to me to actually bother to watch it. This
right.
is how dysfunctional the model Twin Galaxies
Now
had.
or when it was a little more prominent?
In the past, from when I was part of the ownership group of Twin Galaxies to the previous iteration.
Okay.
At this point, Jace Hall owns Twin Galaxies and has fundamentally changed
what it is.
what Twin Galaxies is. But from, I would say, 2013 to previous, that was how the system worked. So, you know, if you were a friend of mine and I was a judge, I mean, you could just about say, hey, well, I got this score on this game. And then it would be completely to my discretion on if I believed you. And since you're a good friend of mine, well, of course I believed you. So
And then it just went up.
it just went up as a score without any verification process whatsoever.
I like the idea of hunting down the person that keeps track. I keep going back to Indiana Jones. Now you're trying to track.
I win Afro Samurai.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, I must hunt this person down.
The number 2
And-
Nintendo headband.
Yes. I have to find them and then play Ice Climber in front of them.
Look at me! If I may, a witness.
Witness, yes.
Witness.
Witnessed, exactly. Witnessed. So, now they were partnered with Guinness.
Yes.
So, are you saying that, like, the things that they printed were fraudulent or incorrect?
I think incorrect would be the correct way to phrase it.
So, it's not like someone watched the video and saw the high score and then ignored it. It was more of, I haven't gotten around to watching it, and I'm not going to.
Basically, yeah. I mean, when I would have submissions sent to me, basically the VHS or DVD tape would have a label on it and says, okay, here's the score, here's the game, here's the settings. And, you know, well, since when I was the head adjudicator, we had a paid submission that you had to pay to have us verify the record.
Yes, Guinness does the same thing.
Guinness actually broke the contract with Twin Galaxies because we changed to that system.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. That's interesting.
And their claim was, well, it should be free to submit a world record attempt. Except ask Gen Con how much it costs them to have the 2 Guinness World Record judges show up.
I'm sure it's very expensive.
I would say it's upward of $2,000.
Oh, wow. How
So-
do you become a judge for
Yeah, what do you-
Guinness? I'd love to be a judge.
It's not like a Magic the Gathering judge where you have to answer rules quick. You're just, it's a
He's playing it.
It's a Nintendo game. A button's been pressed. B button's been pressed. That number is higher. Let me check. Higher than the last number.
Let me
He
double.
wins!
You didn't check for a Game Genie.
Ah!
That's why you can't be a
Never
judge.
check. I never check.
So you were a judge.
Yes.
What did you judge?
I suffered through 84 hours of watching someone play Q*bert in my arcade.
What a great job.
The record to play 84 hours of Q*bert.
Well, there was an old, what I would have to say, to sugarcoat it, I could say it was misprinted because it was, I believe, 34 million on a game of Q*bert.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the person who had the record.
Yeah, that's not important.
That's not important. But you ask him, well, how long did it take to get this record score? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I was in Q*bert zone.
Yeah.
Now, it would have taken him at least 4 full days of playing the game to amass a score of that level. Right. And it was, I think, a score that was set in 1986. Which, goes back to the whole thing of, well, I'm the arcade. I have a little sheet that I fill out and send it into Twin Galaxies without any actual judge verification, and that just becomes the record. So arcades at the time would just fill out the form, and you as the player would come up to me and say, well, I scored 30 million on Defender.
Okay.
And I would write that down and send it in. And it would be completely up to Walter Day or Robert Merzak, who was the head adjudicator at the time. If they believed it or not, it would either be the world record or not.
This whole thing is really weird. Just to be like, yeah, I got that much. All right, let's put them in the book. But, for there to be so much corruption in something when you get really down to it is a really silly thing.
Oh, whoa. No, it's silly. It's silly.
It's
silly.
Silly, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love video games and stuff like that. And I just had this great idea. We should probably beat the world record in Q*bert.
I don't want to spend 84 hours playing Q*bert.
I don't want to spend 84 hours doing anything.
No.
Good luck.
Well, we'll just get some arcade guy to sign off.
Because I've been meaning
Yeah, I wouldn't know where any one of those were. I mean,
did I ever tell you I
bet
scored
there's one.
40 million points in the Q*bert?
I remember you mentioning
Yeah,
that.
I did.
Yeah.
Can you-
I saw him do it.
somebody-
I was there.
Yeah.
That was that day that you scored 40 million in Q*bert.
Those days.
Yeah, those days you scored.
Somebody write it down.
Yeah. Can someone sign my arcade sheet?
But now you're saying that your scores, though, are legitimate. Of course.
I certainly hope so. I mean,
Yeah, wait a minute.
Did you
Let's go
lie to you?
back.
yes, I lied to myself about everything. I am just a lie.
It's a perfect crime.
So what's going so right now there is no database of world records in terms of video games.
Well, Twin Galaxies still has its own database, although
Of lies.
I don't think they really care about it anymore. Guinness
dusty
itself
room with an old
actually
man.
does all of the certification now since Twin Galaxies and Guinness parted ways.
But I've seen the gaming Guinness book, and I've noticed now it's things like game with the most collectibles and, game with the most pixels. It's like, no, I want to know scores. I want to know who's winning at things.
Yeah.
You do know they got rid of scores in games in 2007.
Not all of them.
There's games
Some
with
of them
scores
still have
still.
scores. Most people go for time. I feel like there are people in this crowd
Yeah.
that really
Somebody.
like playing games for time.
Oh, I love a good speed run myself.
Yeah,
but I mean,
the speedrunning community has been growing and is so huge, and the fact that there's not a clear place where you can say this is the fastest time.
well, I think there is. I mean, Speed Demo Archives,
I was gonna
they
say,
do
does
their...
There is,
Does
okay.
Twitch? Doesn't Twitch have a record? E3 had a speed run, but does E3 keep track of the records?
But I think we're still at a point where it's like, it's not every game. If I show
Yes.
up with a semi-obscure game, And I was like, look, I am the fastest at this. They're going to have no one to be like, well, let me see if there's not enough data. If I'm just the one dude that's beating the game.
Well, Speed Demo Archives actually has a decent verification process because you have to submit your run and people in the forums will watch it and see, okay, well, if I'm familiar with this game, I'd know where you're attempting to cheat, circumvent the game, what would be a sequence break when you go through the game in an order not originally intended by the design of the game.
Do they have a head adjudicator, which I've now imagined as a guy in full plate, like a paladin style,
Yeah,
that can
absolutely.
cast detect arcade owner signature several times per day? So he does a dramatic entrance, he pulls the sword out, he puts it down on the desk, and then he goes through his paperwork. It's signed, it's official. I've created a very nice world.
Yeah. These are the TV shows G4 should have been making years ago. When that channel would still be around.
Twin Galaxies adjudicator.
So, guys, we're 20 minutes in. And I forgot to ask
Oh,
the
no.
first question of the show. So let me do that. This is a random question left from a previous guest that I was supposed to ask, and I forgot all about it. Oh, this is mine. I put one in here
I
because
don't
it's one of my
believe you were
favorite
a
questions. Yes, I was once. And that is, what was your first AIM screen name or online alias?
Ooh, I like that question.
Bill, what was your first screen name?
Buzzkill.
You were just Buzzkill?
You got straight
Yes.
up Buzzkill?
You got Buzzkill, no numbers?
Yes.
Oh, wow. What a Buzzkill.
Yeah, can I tell you, to me, equally impressive, my AOL screen name was Willafet.
Willafet?
Willafet. Nobody had it. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, wow. I was FF7 Cloud Fan 19.
Oh, what a loser.
And I added
Why were you 19? You weren't 19. That's a lie.
19th my birthday,
Oh.
February 19th.
You
And
were-
here's the thing. It was open. Like, I didn't need to add numbers. I just thought that was a thing you did for screen names. So I was FF7 Cloud Fan 19. When this goes live, I'll sign in again and just see if anyone says hello to me.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But you added the 19 to it. You already added a number.
Yeah, I added like an idiot. Like, I could have just been FF7 Cloud Fan.
God, and that would have been valuable.
Yes. Because I wasn't a fan of Final
I
Fantasy
get
VII.
right. Can't
It
you
was
sell your
specifically
screen
Cloud.
names now?
I'm sorry.
And then,
I bet you will. I bet in 10 years our nostalgia need will get so high, AIM will come back, and then people want the prime AIM screen names.
yeah, like Friendster accounts. And Zangas.
So if anybody
Oh,
wants
yeah.
Silent Bob Metallica, but Metallica spelled wrong, it's
Well,
available.
you might
guys.
be in luck because, supposedly they're finally remaking Final Fantasy VII.
Yes. Finally. You know what? That's a good time to have that screen name.
Yeah. You are primely set up.
You, sir, were a
And
visionary.
if it comes out in 2016, that'll be exactly 19 years after the
Ah.
original came out. Oh, I hit the AIM screen name jackpot, ladies
I
and
don't want to
gentlemen.
lowball it, but $5 million, probably $5 million is what that's worth.
So I'm gonna
Start at 8 and
Yeah.
let them work you down.
I'm gonna be coming into some money soon, guys. So everybody's getting jet skis. Get excited. So we like to geek out on this show. And we do it with the segment called What You Watching, What You Reading, What You Playing. So we talk about what we're watching, what we're reading, and what we're playing. Bill, you're new to the group. What have you been watching besides Cubert?
This is a family show. I don't believe I can actually properly answer that question.
No, all right.
no,
I think
everyone-
it is.
Everyone listening, talking, and currently here in the room has been looking at porn. If that, you don't need to say porn. That's just
Okay.
assumed.
So then I would...
Oh, yeah. Some people are looking at porn right now.
Well, don't go into detail, though.
No,
That's
no,
what we
what
get
I'm
into
saying
trouble.
is skip that because you're like, what are you watching? Porn. Yeah, we know, but what else?
Yeah.
You just go
YouTube
right on-
videos.
YouTube,
Okay.
anything good? I watch a lot of YouTube.
Kids on
It's
fire.
Stop a Douchebag. It's a Russian group of activists that try to curb people from breaking the rules of the road in Russia.
It's a frequent problem.
Yeah, they like stand in front of cars and stuff, right?
And then they put these hilariously large stickers on them.
Yes, I have seen this. That's. I'm glad that's not around here, but it's funny in other countries. That's for
It's
sure.
funny when it happens to Russians.
I think between that and Shark Tank, that's about the entirety of
Shark
what I'm
Tank.
watching.
Sucks me in all the time.
There was an episode where they didn't go on some beach weird game that looked dumb, and now it's selling in my town constantly. And
really?
I'm like, Shark Tank didn't want it. I don't want it.
Shark Tank told me this is garbage. Ruining things. How about you, Will? What have you been watching?
I can't remember if I talked about Ant-Man last week.
I don't think you did.
'Cause it's the perfect movie. It's so good.
I really enjoyed Ant-Man. I wouldn't go as far as to say it was a perfect
It's not the perfect
film.
movie. I like it so much, and I feel like it's not getting enough.
See, this is what I've heard the most is, hey, I heard Ant-Man flopped. I was like, it made millions of dollars.
My concern that the weekend after I saw it was that it was going to flop, because I keep hearing that, and then I looked at it. It's financially it's doing it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not like
They
Avengers
said
1 blockbuster,
Yeah, they
but
said
it's
it's
doing
one of
fine.
the lowest grossing Marvel films, not counting the Hulk.
Which is the Hulk didn't do bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
We only doubled our money. Ugh.
if you throw it next
Darn.
to the billions of dollars Avengers made, sure, you can make it feel pretty bad.
Titanic was a flop. That's what I'm saying. Financially, it flopped.
It's just, and it is a really fun movie.
I thought it fixed everything that I was worried about stuff, and it made it almost like there were scenes where they shrink and they fight and they zoom out and let you know how dumb and little this tiny fight
Yeah.
is, and how dumb and little I don't know. It felt like it was making fun of itself.
Yes,
And I really appreciated it.
The timing of the shrinking and like pulling back was spot on.
When the bad guy gets wrecked by Thomas the Tank Engine,
Oh yeah.
that made the movie for me. At that point, I'm just like, 2 thumbs up, winner.
It was a great movie.
I would say the only issue I had is there are many times during that film where I was like, why isn't this just a Hank Pym movie? That all the stuff he keeps talking about is really interesting. Why didn't they just, he's a monster. That's
Yeah.
right.
Is he-
He's a monster of a character.
Smacked his wife around.
Yes. No wonder she vanished.
Disappeared into nothingness. You can't. It's not been long enough that I can do the end spoiler or the end.
Yeah, I don't want to
credits
spoil.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'll get to it. I have a lot of opinions about the end credits.
As do I. I thought it was cool, though.
Did you see the Deadpool trailer?
Yes, I did.
I don't want to steal two things, but
I did watch it, and my reaction to it was skip the origin. Skip the origin and get the fun Deadpool stuff. Don't want to see this part.
yeah,
Don't need to hear about Wade's girlfriend.
And I think that I
Unless
got the
it's death or domino.
feeling that they're gonna blow through that. I don't like Deadpool. I have not liked Deadpool for a very long time. I don't like the jokes. I think he's too cartoony. I liked him. He used to be
That
like,
game is great.
I haven't played the game. It might be. But
Sorry, I'm going to have to side with Will on this one.
Yeah,
Not a Deadpool
he
fan.
used to be like this sharp commentary on the comics industry a lot of the time, and then he got so popular that he just became the problem he used to make fun of. And so I haven't liked him. The trailer looked all right.
Yeah, I thought the trailer was good. I greatly...
I like his outfit.
Yes.
It looks like it's all practical. Like it's not CG.
Yeah, and the original trailer they showed, he looked a little CG-ish.
Well, I think they did that before they like finessed it.
Yeah, but now it looks much better. So
And he makes fun of Green Lantern.
Yes,
So
he
he's
does,
doing a little
which is
fourth wall
important.
breaking. So
super important. I've been watching.
it's all today. That's all.
Yeah, I've been watching on Netflix. Wet Hot American Summer,
I haven't seen it.
the series. Oh my God, it's a beautiful thing.
Spoiler.
I won't spoil anything.
I didn't even want to know if it was good or not.
I will say that, like, from a viewer point of view, everyone pretty much looks the same, despite the fact that it's 20 years ago. It's also a prequel, which I thought was a weird choice since everyone's... It's been 20 years. Let's go back in time. And I was like... But everyone, other than Michael Showalter's put on a few pounds, but other than that, everyone looks the same. like to a creepy point. And it is a beautiful, beautiful.
Maybe they just looked horrible 20
Yeah,
years
maybe.
ago. Maybe
That's quite
all.
possible. But like everybody's in it, which is crazy to me. Is that like they got
They get
Bradley
the-
Cooper?
Did they get the kids back?
Some of the kids might be older. I don't
'Cause
know.
I've hung out and partied with the goth girl that
Oh, really?
hangs out with the nerdy guy. Yeah, she went to
didn't.
college with my sister.
Well, she hasn't shown up yet. She may, but I think the thing about this show is it rewards you for really paying attention. The jokes are so fast and so small that if you're not like really watching, things will get missed. Like for example, someone's looking. I won't spoil anything, but somebody needs something, so they're like, "Here, call this person," and they take out a pen and paper and they just write phone number and hand it to them. Not an act, just the words phone number, and like it's blink and you miss it. And it's just those types of small, fast jokes. I'm about halfway through the series, and it's wonderful. So check out Wet Hot American Summer, the weird prequel that probably shouldn't have happened, but it did, and it's great. That's the full title.
Okay.
Bill, I'm throwing it back to you. What you reading?
Reading. People read.
We include audiobooks or podcasts or
Because
Don't you listen to podcasts though?
yeah, but that's the world we live in now.
I mean, I guess I was reading
Back
a
in
bunch
the
of
day, podcasts were
instruction
called
manuals
books.
at Gen Con for all of the RPGs I tried to play.
Well, Ben Franklin, Farmer's Almanac, America's first podcast. Throwing it out there. I'm sorry. Go on.
I mean, that's really about it. I mean, Gen Con was last week, and try out a whole bunch of new games. So I mean, reading rules and RPG shenanigans. I don't read much. The first thing I do with a game is throw the instruction book right in the garbage.
That's going to limit your enjoyment.
Yeah, that's
No. If I can't figure out how to play the game in those 15 minutes, the rest of the game goes in the garbage right with it.
There's a lot of games in the garbage over at Bill's place. Throw it in the pile.
All these white blocks.
Where's the horse move?
There's-
Throw it
there's
away.
Sheep,
Not learning chess.
Sheep and Settlers of Catan was mine. The sheep blocks.
Good job.
Are there blocks? I don't know. I threw the game out. I couldn't figure it out.
It's on the pile.
Yeah, don't throw them in the trash. There's just a pile.
Top of backgammon and mousetrap.
A mouse lives in the pile, ironically enough.
Well, what are you reading?
I just finished American Gods.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. That's
Oh
what
my
you were
God,
doing.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
There wasn't a time I didn't like it. The middle part where he's in that town, screw you if you haven't read it. It's not a spoiler. And then the end epilogue it could have been a season of True Detective. That was probably my favorite part, and those weren't really in the book anyway. It's just great.
Yeah.
Every part of it is interesting, and I loved it.
All right, I will add it to my list. I mean, the list is long since I've only been reading one book for 2 years now.
That book doesn't end. I hope you've realized that.
Well, guys,
You have openly admitted that pages are adding themselves.
yeah, that's true. I've been reading House of Leaves. Two strange things have happened in
No
this last
kidding.
chapter. I'm on the chapter where it's called The Rescue, and another team is now venturing down the steps to try to save the first team that was down the steps. And
I forgot there was a narrative plot to this
yes,
book.
and
It's been so long.
this whole chapter is just like one paragraph per page and then blank.
Yes.
So I've been moving at a pretty decent
Did you
clip. through
blacklight it? Like
no,
I
I forgot to do
suggested?
that. I forgot to blacklight it. But there was one little fun thing that happened where I was reading. I was like, all right, this is pretty good. All right, I'm done for the night. And I put it down. And then when I came back to it, right where I had stopped, the next paragraph said, some time passed. And then we rejoined Navison. I was like, that is correct. Good job, book. Nailed it. That is exactly what happened. But the one thing that's happened that I'm legit a little worried about is there's a lot of like appendixes and stuff that you got to flip back to. And there are times where you are told to go to an appendix that you've actually already read. but there's a lot of them, so I don't remember. So I always write notes in the margin of this book. This book is already full of footnotes, and now it has Noah Houlihan footnotes in it. So it told me to go to this one appendix. I was like, all right, let's see what's in it. And there wasn't a lot of information there, but there was a note that I wrote and erased. And I was like, now I don't know what I was trying to tell me, because I've been reading this for so long that I have no idea what that note was. There's probably a reason I erased it. Now I'm just doing it to myself.
Yep. And you will forever. That you've fallen into the Greek tragedy of this book is that until you learn to just walk away, you're trapped.
See, that's the weird. No. The issue I'm having with it is it's such a slog to read because it's such a difficult read that I'm not sure if I'm enjoying it anymore.
You're not.
But I still want to conquer it.
You won't. That's the hubris. Just leave it alone. Just walk away. But you never will. You'll do this forever.
I was out for a while, and then I found it again.
Yep.
Or it found me. And now there's a part of me that wants to start it over because I'm so confused.
Oh, that'll
Just
work
keep
real
pushing
well.
that rock up that hill, Noah. I'm sure there's an end to it.
Yeah, it's when that rock comes tumbling back down and you see him stuck to
I'll get it up there. I'm not sure if you know this, but I hold the world record in Cubert. Great at jumping up hills.
I don't know if that's been adjudicated.
Yeah, I don't believe the proper adjudication process has been.
My permission slip. It says that I'm a champion.
That would be a good movie. You have to find an arcade so they can sign you beat the Cubert world record 10 years ago, and you forgot to get that to send it in.
My score's going to expire tomorrow.
I got the slip right here. I just need it signed by an arcade owner. Oh no!
Yeah.
We got to go to Wisconsin.
A week ago, I met the world's hottest girl, but she only cares about people who have the world record in Cubert. I got it 10 years ago, but I never got it signed. We got to go to California.
Arclade. It's a working title. It will.
Please go to our Indiegogo page.
It's all right. Let us take it to
I
great.
was trying to think of a good title.
Because Arclade does not.
Cubert's getting me! ! Pound signed outside.
All right.
No, all right.
We could put that in the trailer, maybe.
We'll make it an Indiegogo reward that you can name this nameless film currently.
You give us a couple thousand, you could name it.
You can name it.
You could add pages in the script. I don't care.
You probably just do it. We're probably going to have lost interest by the time that this is funded. We'll have some other crazy idea we're working on.
You send me $10 in the mail, I'll send you a written out letter that says this is your idea now.
Yeah, let's just sell it. That's a good idea.
That
right,
might
Bill.
be the best Indiegogo perk
If
ever.
someone sends me $10, I will give you a plot for a movie.
Oh, we should sign up for Fiverr.
Ooh, what's that?
Fiverr is this website you can sign up for, and you can buy something for $5 and sell something for $5.
Oh, I'm selling so many movie ideas.
Yeah, so if you want an insane movie idea, give Plus Two Comedy $5 on the Fiverr account.
I'll set an alarm to wake me up at 4 a.m, and I'll write you a movie plot, and then I'll go back.
You've never heard of Fiverr?
No.
Oh, my friend Josh Carter has it, and there's a woman that will say anything you want for $5. So my buddy Josh Carter got her to say, it's time for Josh Carter coming at you live with a comedy vibe. And now he just plays that whenever he's going on stage to do comedy. Great use of $5.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, there's a girl that will hula hoop for you. It's a great website, guys. Fiverr.com. Proudly supports the Plus Two Comedy Podcast.
I'm going to check that out now.
Maybe. I don't know. Go to our Fiverr page, guys.
Do we have a Fiverr?
We're going to give out movie ideas. You were right here a moment ago.
Oh, did you want in?
Go to Will's Fiverr account that I set up for him.
I almost want to know if I'm in on this, too. I mean, I have to be part of this idea, right?
You can't split $5 three
Yeah,
ways.
it doesn't work. Doesn't work.
That's
Well,
just math.
$2.50 each side.
But, like, you
can
guys
give us
both get, like,
$5 if you wanna be
$2,
involved.
and then I get, like, the lone other $1.
We're going to have to find a Fiverr lawyer
Yeah.
for $5.
Like, I'd be... I mean, I'd be okay with that. Like, I'm just, along for the ride anyway. I mean, come on. I
like
don't
how
expect the
quickly it
lion's
was.
share.
It's a website that you can make $5 off of, and we immediately become greedy. No! You're not getting any of my $5. Taking over the world with this $5. Bill, I'm going to throw it back to you because we're still doing a podcast, I think. What? What have you been playing? I heard you went to Gen Con.
A bunch of LARPs.
That was about as much explanation as the reading segment got from you. What LARP did you do?
A bunch, Noah.
Name one. Pick your favorite.
All right, my favorite it used to be a Nero-based live-action roleplay, but they've changed it, changed the system, simplified it, and now it's just dungeon crawl.
Okay, so it's just you hacking and slashing your way through?
That doesn't seem like a good system for a LARP.
It's fun. You beat people with foam weapons. I mean,
I bet you'd be on board with that.
No, but why LARP if you're not going to at least get a little bit of like a character going? I could go out on the street and just start bopping people with a foam sword. I'm dungeon crawling! Bop, bop, bop! Level 2 is the cops. It's real.
No one's seen level 3.
Level 3 is prison.
no, I thought that was the SWAT team.
If you can do that well against level 2 with your foam sword.
No, he's got a foam mace. We are going to need helicopters.
This is not a LARP for minorities either. I would not suggest. It is infinitely less fun. It just occurred to me.
So what happened on your dungeon crawl, Bill? How'd that crawl go? Go well? Crawl around dungeon? Did some things? Please say words, Bill. Need you to come in.
You kind of derailed things here. I'm
Give me some
sorry.
details about the LARP, Bill.
Oh, all right. Details. Oh boy. Oh boy. I had to
Was
stop.
it a Fight Club LARP? Can you not speak about it?
I just had to compose myself to stop laughing, and you make me laugh again. You're not helping yourself here.
All right, I'll stop talking.
They give each guy a foam sword in a circle of dudes, and then the Tyler Durden comes out and just dumps a bunch of D4s on the ground. Let's make this real. Yeah, they hurt. They would hurt if you fall.
If this is your first time at Fight Club LARP,
Fight Club
you
LARP.
have to pretend fight. If someone passes out, goes limp, gets hurt, sprains an ankle,
Calls
scrapes
their
a knee,
mom.
LARP is over. Rule 3, no shoes. Rule 4, no shirts. Unless you're self-conscious, it's fine.
Wow,
No
it's
shirt
all
or
about the
shirt.
chainmail. It is all about the chainmail. Because chainmail armor and foam weapons is just the best thing ever. Because you just feel nothing.
Yes. Yeah, pool noodle versus metal. I'm going to go with metal every time.
It doesn't seem you don't gotta like act out you getting hit, so you just wailing on each other with no pain.
Well, of course, but when you play as the NPC, you kind of throw the curveball at the player group. So
Chainmail fist.
no.
Like this less and less.
See, what you have to do is get the whole party to do the hokey pokey, of which I was successful in doing this.
This is a weird turn.
Yes.
I wasn't ready for this.
Okay, all right.
Well, you got to
You
throw
had a
something.
hokey pokey weakness, and that's how you got destroyed?
Yeah, we were destroyed by dance. We were destroyed by the hokey pokey, the YMCA dance.
Ooh, the deadliest of the dances.
I actually felt the most pain from I'm a Little Teapot.
Ooh, yeah,
Not the
that's
first
right.
person to say that.
That was just a
Steam is pretty
brutal
hot.
onslaught, and I just had no chance against that attack whatsoever.
Tough one. That's a tough one. What was this LARP called?
Dungeon crawl.
Oh, well, that's a good name.
This. It really seems like you panicked, said LARP, and now you've just been filling information.
Well, that's all I do at Gen Con anymore is, I go like 10 feet away and play games on demand RPGs when I'm too tired from wearing chainmail.
It'll tire out. It's heavy.
They set up 4 rooms and throw a bunch of, pretend monsters at you with basically people wearing skeleton masks or werewolf masks or goblin masks and whatnot, and, well, you just beat each other up.
Yeah.
Move on to the next room, and, oh, there's a puzzle. So the people who weren't fighters have something to do. Because, who wouldn't want to be a fighter when you're wearing chainmail and beating people with foam weapons?
That's true.
I pictured a barbarian still raging, assuming that's a thing, finding a puzzle. And just, what is this? And just start whacking just a jigsaw puzzle, just a regular, that was the puzzle. And he's just wailing on a pile of pieces.
That's
with a
wrong.
foam sword. And I was
He's
like,
never going to get it. How about you, Will? What have you been playing?
LARP.
No way.
No, I wish. Although I talked to a very nice gentleman at DECCON, and there's a LARP I'm going to check out. So
Oh, really?
We'll talk about that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
To the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast.
It's been fun. I'm going backwards in Fallout time, because I beat New Vegas, and now I'm just doing regular Fallout 3 and appreciating all the changes they made for New Vegas. It's a nice way to play a video game. You go from Halo 2 to Halo 1, you're like, man, I missed some stuff.
Yeah.
I like the world and the role playing better, like the people in it better, but the system was just really refined for New Vegas.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for Fallout.
Yeah, I think I'm going to jump down the rabbit hole this time.
Oh, it's such a great
I have
game.
the system that'll actually play it, so I might as well get it.
Are you gonna have a Pip-Boy? You're not, because they stopped making them. I'll have a Pip-Boy though.
No, I'm not going to go that
So I'm gonna use it because I can put my phone in it, and I'm gonna call you on my Pip-Boy and let you know how awesome it is.
Well, they didn't release Fallout Shelter on Android, so I'm going to just go ahead and assume that Pip-Boy's not going to come to Android either. So
No. They promised it would fit my phone.
yeah, it'll fit your phone. That doesn't mean it'll run the app.
I don't like your negativity. I think you're just jealous because I have a Pip-Boy. I have the idea of a Pip-Boy. The
Well, you
future
have
concept.
you
of
have an iPhone, right?
Let me check. No.
Ooh.
I thought that was the iPhone 7.
No, this is the cracked up screen LG Optimus Prime.
You might have a useless Pip-Boy, my friend.
No. It'll fit. Shut up.
All right.
What are you playing?
I'm sure it'll fit in a box, dude. I'm positive of that part.
Or can't I just adjust it with springs?
Guys, I went to Ocean City a little while ago and went to the arcades.
Yeah, did you see anybody there? Like any?
Yeah, I had a lot of friends.
Yeah,
with
a lot
me.
of friends.
It was a
Anybody
good time.
that lives in Ocean City. You could have run into.
Well,
them.
I ran a couple to them.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, it was a
interesting.
good time.
Interesting. All right, go on. Whatever.
It was
Like
on-
friends that live in Ocean City and like arcades and that frequent one. Yeah. No, that's too specific. Too specific. People might figure out that I'm talking about me.
Says, why do you like arcades and video games?
I'm outta here.
And do a podcast with me. Oh no, he's leaving. He's gotten further away. Will,
Is
come
that
back.
the-
Bill? You're in charge. I gotta go get Will.
I believe we've just witnessed the first Plus 2 comedy rage quit.
All right, I'm back. Hold on. It's going south real quick.
Will, I'm back.
I'm back.
I played.
I hope that works.
I can edit. It'll be
Ah,
fine.
sweet.
I played the new arcade Star Wars game. Like
The new one?
yeah,
Oh,
the
there
one-
is a new one.
You
Yeah,
get
yeah,
into
yeah.
like a pod. And I
Yes.
was like, oh, I am ready for an experience. And they just
They have
figured
that in Ocean City?
yeah. We're back.
Yeah,
it'll still be
the
there.
arcade's closed.
So, basically, it is a normal Star Wars game, but they put a door on it. So you're like, oh, this is so
Exclusive.
special. I better put $2 into this. The screen is kind of curved around you so you can see. And basically, they show a movie of Star Wars, and then you press
I
a
love
button.
movies of Star Wars. I love 3 movies of Star Wars.
I'm like, I want to destroy the Death Star, and they're like, that's too hard. I was like, all right.
Was there a guy there?
No.
There's a little ghost Obi-Wan on the side. No.
So I was like, all right, I'll fly around Hoth. That'll be cool. So I did the Hoth level, and basically it's a joystick with one hand and then a thruster on the other
Ooh,
side.
they've added stuff.
Yeah. The thruster you just put all the way, and then it stays there for the rest of the game. And you fly around using the joystick quotation fingers because it's just you're on rails.
You just control the like the crosshairs.
You sort of do. Like, there's so many times where it's like, oh, I'm just missing all these rocks. And I'm like, no, if I did nothing, I would.
No, but I mean, because that is the original Star Wars arcade game. You don't control where you go. You just control where you shoot your gun.
That's basically what it was. And then there was like a button for special attack that only happens when it says, hey, it's time to hit your special attack. It was like there was no boss, and I failed. I didn't save Hoth or whatever the hell I was trying to do. But I didn't wrap up some
shield
AT-ATs.
reactor of some
They did
kind?
not save Hoth in the movie either, so I think that's.
Good. I kept canon, guys.
I think you pretty much stuck to the script, so I think you did good.
Yeah, Admiral Veers blew up that shield generator.
And that's going to do it for
General
what you,
Veers. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Admiral Ozzel, General Veers.
you watch
You can
and what
edit that, right?
you read and what you're playing. We end all of our podcasts with a game. This week we were putting up Batman: A Death in the Family. It's the one where Robin dies. That's not a spoiler. It's on the cover.
Yeah, there it is. He might not be dead.
Bill, what did you bring?
I brought a board game.
Oh,
By
say
the
what it
name-
is.
It is Dragon Strike.
Yes, it is a board game with a VHS
I know.
that you have to watch while playing. I
You
want
get
it really
to,
bad.
I always understood this as it's D&D, but the VHS tape is your dungeon master.
Yes.
Yes.
So to play host versus guest versus audience, we need an audience member.
Oh, I
but
know it's bad. Don't say that. Don't whisper that to me.
A need to bring a prize as well. What would you guys bring this week? I see a DVD copy of Mean Girls. I see a Highlander comic book, and is that RoboCop? Ooh. And GGE soy ramen crackers.
I already own a copy of Mean Girls. I don't know.
This
I don't.
common problem on this show. So would you like Highlander and RoboCop, or would you like the snacks? The choice is yours, Bill.
I think, Will, can you eliminate one of the other two? I eliminated one. I think it's only right you be able to eliminate one of the other two.
No, it's our show. You have to choose.
I have to choose?
Yes.
I don't have a coin to flip.
Oh, my God.
Just use your brain.
No.
Highlander, way to go. Come on up here, Highlander. We're running over. Come on up here. Turn your mic on and introduce yourself. Introduce.
It's Ian.
Hey, Ian, welcome back on the show.
Good to be here. Why didn't anybody set up a chair for me?
We thought you'd just bring one. You were in one.
Apparently this one is broken.
Yes,
Thanks
it
for
is,
telling
but
me, guys.
It's working pretty well for you, so.
I'm
We're
late.
going to play an old +2 comedy standby. We're going to play Google Feud. I will pull up a part of a Google search. You need to tell me one of the top 10 finishes for this Google search. So we're going to start with Ian.
Okay.
Everyone will get a chance to answer. Everything tastes... ... How would you finish that Google search?
Terrible.
Terrible. Not on there. I may have spelled it wrong.
I mean, that's
It
on
may,
you.
It may have autocorrected to Tribble,
Uh,
but Tribble wasn't on there either. How would you end this? Everything tastes
Salty.
salty. That is the number one answer. That's good for 10,000 points.
Oh, wow.
Will?
wow.
Everything tastes
Everything tastes
like black.
like black. That's an interesting choice.
Because I don't know what your
Yeah,
mouth
maybe you shouldn't
movements
cheat.
mean. I tried to cheat.
not on
I'm not.
Every Everything tastes like soap, like dirt, spicy, sour, funny, like metal, bitter, bad, sweet, and salty. Is
Okay,
number
I wouldn't
one.
have got. I was gonna go with hot dogs. So
Everything tastes like hot dogs.
what a nightmare.
Man, but it's staying on a food theme. Bill, we're going to start with you. Recipe for...
Oh, blank.
Bill! Recipe for...
Destruction.
Ooh, good answer. Destruction. Not on there. Recipe for, Will?
Chili.
Chili. Not on there.
What?
Ian?
Chicken.
Chicken.
Ooh.
Not on there.
What?
Stuffed bell peppers, bread pudding, fried green tomatoes, banana bread, meatloaf, peach cobbler, chicken salad, squash casserole, what? Baked beans and banana nut bread. Apparently, the internet loves banana bread.
I love banana bread.
All right, well, we're going to start with you. We don't have a lot of time, so this is going to be our final round. Vincent
Price.
Price. There's a picture of him hanging up in this very store. Vincent Price is the number 4 answer.
Nice.
Ian?
Van Gogh. Ooh. It's VAN space GOGH.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And
That's the number 2 answer. Good for 9,000
Is the whole
points.
thing Vincent Van Gogh Doctor Who episode?
If this is the last
Bill?
round, I've already won. So can I just
Shut
like
up.
Just play
give
the
like
game.
a completely troll answer?
Do whatever you
Do
want.
whatever you want.
All right.
Tell a
I'm
story
gonna
about LARPing.
I will do exactly that, only because you asked. But no, I'm going to go with a Suikoden character, and Vincent Duboule. Deboule.
He's in Sudoku, you said?
Suikoden.
Believe it or not on there.
What a shock.
Martella, Vincent Chase, Vincent Jackson, Vincent Galgo.
These are all made up.
Vincent Valentine,
All right, that's a real one.
Vincent Plaza, Vincent Price, Vincent Carthier, Vincent Van Gogh, and Vincent D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yes.
He's number 1.
Oh, that's the
But
one I should have thought of. That's
I was
Private
going to
Pile.
say that.
your winner by a mere 1,000 points
Yeah.
is Bill. You put that on that's the world record.
Yeah. Send it in to be
I
adjudicated.
will send that in as I believe I am the world record holder of the +2 comedy.
Google feud.
Google
host
feud,
versus guest
okay.
versus audience.
I will make sure, because this will be verified through the podcast itself.
Oh,
Yeah,
excellent.
I'll sign your paper.
Yes. Ian, thank you so much for coming up here. Give it
Thanks
up
for
for Ian.
being here.
Bill, we got to get out of here. Anything you want to plug or say? You got a Twitter or something?
No. I avoid Twitter like the plague it is.
All right.
I just want no part of that.
I thought it'd be nice of me to ask. All right, Bill, thank you for being on the show. Will, anything to add?
I'm still taking Predator versus suggestions with the hashtag Spetsnaz Dolphins.
That is a very confusing way
I
to
know,
do it.
isn't it? I really want to limit the number of these I have to do. It's up to 2, which is more than I had planned on. I Googled Predator podcast, none about the Predator.
Are you sure? Is it all
It's all
to catch a predator?
It's all to catch a predator and hunting.
All right, upcoming shows, guys. Next week, August 13th, voice actor and stand-up comedian TJ Del Reno might be on this show. So be sure to be here for that. Then on August 20th, it's the South Jersey stand-up champion, Brian Isley, will be on the show. And then August 27th, the host of Introducing the First Appearance podcast, Mark Henley and Jack Steiger, will be on the show. So be sure to be here for that. It's going to be fantastic. Also, give us 5 stars on iTunes, 5 stars on Stitcher. Vote for us on podcastland.com. Make us the podcast of the month. Also, follow us on Twitter. And also check out our new website, plus2comedy.wordpress.com. Because plus2comedy.com is broken. And we would like to thank Ben Affleck for making the show possible and keeping the streets of Gotham City safe. You'll always be Daredevil to me. This is the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast. Thank you so much. Welcome back.